I would like to remind everyone that this show is brought to you by the Dolphin Wars.
Good evening and welcome to King Dolphin Television. I am Raymond, author of the Dolphin Wars series of books, and welcome to the best pod in YouTube. I hope you are all doing well and hunkering in if you're expecting some nasty weather. Where it sounds like we're going to have some nasty weather, so we're hunkering down. It's Wednesday, so as you know, we have another interview. He is a different type of creator than we've had before. Please give a King Dolphin Television welcome to Alex, the owner of Brick Plania. But before we get going, as always, if you like what we're doing here at the pod, if you love our interviews and the fun that we have, please like and subscribe. Also, if you know anyone I should interview, please send me their names so I could reach out to them. Now, before I welcome our guest, let me welcome the ones who make this show possible. We've got as our wrenches, we've got Legatus Legionii. We've got John Rendell. We've got Snortopupus Cubar. Many snorts in the background there, Snort. We've got Pudgy Hedgehog. And we've got the evil genius and the devil man himself, Vet for Hire. So, welcome, wrenches, and hopefully we'll get more chatters to come on in and enjoy the creations. So, let us. I'd like to welcome Alex. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Yourself?
I am doing wonderful. Like I said, hunkering down for this upcoming winter event. So we'll see how it goes. Now, how we do things here, and I'd like to welcome Sean Carter. Welcome, Sean. And how we do things is we will go through an ice-breaking type of interview where we talk about what you do and how you do it, and then I open it up to the chat. Now, chat, you know the rules that and there's a reason for the rules. If you start asking questions now, they get buried in StreamYards, and we would never see, and I won't be able to see them. So wait until I open up the questions to the chat, and then you can ask all the questions you want. I will not be long, I promise. And John Rendell says...
He promises. I don't.
Yeah. John Rendell already says, that looks like quite a great collection on that shelf. Wow. Yeah, I agree. That looks amazing. Hopefully we'll get to see quite a few of them. And Snortopooper says, wait for it. Okay. So let us begin the interview. So Alex, tell us a little bit about yourself outside of what you do.
All right. So outside of building Brick Plania, I am a retired Air Force career enlisted aviator. I flew as mission crew on the back end of a number of heavy aircraft. And then once I retired after 20 years in the Air Force, I transitioned off into civilian life and am currently a defense contractor. Who'd have guessed? On the side, I'm a private pilot. So you can kind of tell that aviation has been a big thing with me throughout my life.
Okay. And we talked, and I know you've got a family. So what made you want to be a creator and correct or create in this style?
Well, I would say it goes back to my parents. They got me Lego sets when I was a young kid, and I've just constantly played with them. Now, what got me into building the aircraft is different because as a career enlisted aviator, I just wanted, one of those little aircraft to say, hey, this is what I fly on, to put on my desk or shelf at home. And the options available were expensive and not all that great. So I started, just put it on the back burner. And then one day I was down in the basement playing with Lego, noticed some of the wing pieces I had and said, wait a second, I can probably build my aircraft out of Lego. And that's where it started from.
Okay. And how long have you been doing this?
So I've been building the Lego aircraft for about a decade now.
Okay. And how long has Brick Plania been in existence?
Pretty close to the same amount of time.
Okay.
So I took my aircraft in, had it on the desk, and one of the guys was like, hey, we got to put a display on, and we can't find a model of our aircraft anywhere except for the huge one in the commander's office that's hooked up to the ceiling by like a metric ton of fishing line. Yours is the only one. Yoink! And off it went. And now people are like, hey, that's cool. How much would it be to get one? So it was outside influences that started this more for the business side.
Okay. All right. So you do pretty much military aircraft themed work on your Legos, correct? That's your primary.
So the primary, yes, is military.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not exclusive to that. I've done things like Cessna 172s, Boeing 737s, Diamond DA-20.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more what people are willing to come to me and go, hey, can you make this? But a lot of the people I know, especially when I was in, were military, and they were looking for those military aircraft.
Okay. But now that you're retired, you're able to branch out and diversify.
I was diversified even before that when I was in the military, because some of the pilots were like, hey, I remember, I soloed on this aircraft or I flew that one, so I'd like that.
Okay.
And it's just kind of a mix. It still is more military because I'm known for doing the military stuff and word of mouth there.
Okay. I was going to ask about showing pictures of your work, but we see the real deal out there. So hopefully you'll bring a few.
I can show a few pictures as well. I mean, I've got some other stuff that I can bring up that's not on the shelf behind me.
Okay.
So let me do that.
All right. Meanwhile, Fudgy is looking at Legos and is starting to gather them. Cool. And hanging in the commander's office sounds like a job for Super Snorter Poopus. All right. Okay, so here is a picture of his work.
This is a large collection of the stuff I've got at home. As you can see, It's a lot of American stuff. There is some international flavor in there. And then
Wow.
this is one of the aircraft, the A-10, that's on the shelf behind me, and ending we may take a look at in a bit.
Yeah.
I've got the Tipsy 75 radar. Again, I've got one behind me. Great little piece.
Is that from the Patriot or the...
I'm not sure. The customer asked me, can you make me a Tipsy 75? And
Wow.
B-1 Lancer. The wings do swing.
Wow.
B-2. That's a nice one.
Mm-hmm.
Angles are hard to get on that, but it was able to be done. The infamous Buff.
Oh, I love that. I love that Buff.
Here's one of the 737s I did. It's got a heart base befitting the company.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of 5th generation fighters, including the elusive YF-23 Black Widow. Some of the teenagers. I've got the F-14. I can show you everybody that one later, and the wings swing on it as well.
Okay. That's got to be pretty intricate.
Yeah. The wing box is a challenge to get into the size for the F-14 and the B-1.
Yeah.
And then obviously a little Christmas-themed setup. Rudolph leading a C-5 doing airdrops.
Nice. A C-17. And
Cessna 172 on the runway piece.
That's nice.
E-2 Hawkeye. The rotodome does spin on it along with the propellers.
Very cool.
And E-3 AWACS. That's got a custom squadron logo base. A little more intricate. Sometimes I just can't do them in Lego. I've had to turn one down because the level of detail was beyond what I could do. But again, the rotodome on it spins.
Okay.
Good old F4 Phantom 2.
Oh, that's a very good look of the Phantom.
Another shot of the F-14 on its own.
With the Jolly Rogers on the back.
Yep.
Or a reasonable facsimile.
Yeah. Hornet.
Yeah.
Lightning 2.
Wow. I love that.
A German F-104 starfighter that has got some issues, and the pilot has decided to pull the handles.
And that seemed to be a common occurrence with that airplane.
Over Germany? Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Pair of KC-135s.
Okay. Do the booms work?
The booms do go up and down. They don't have any side-to-side play.
Okay.
A Ukrainian MiG-29 with Ukrainian Air Force Base.
Okay.
RC-135 on a 55th Wing base. A Navy CB.
That had to take some doing.
That one is the most fragile because the arms just want to fall off if you even look at it wrong.
Oh, yeah.
That's the biggest problem with it. Otherwise, it's a pretty solid barrel.
Okay. Oh, and the black.
There's fast.
Yeah.
A Russian, Soviet Su-27 flanker.
The MiG-23.
No, that's actually a German Tornado.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
again, the wings do swing together. USN.
Oh, I like that. I like that one.
VC-25, aka Air Force One.
Okay. And the X-15.
The X-15.
Wow. Nice. Very nice. So you've got, how many do you currently have? Just roughly a number.
So on hand, that's probably about half my collection of aircraft.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then others I've built that I don't even have versions of for other people.
Okay. Now, when you decide you're going to pick a airplane to design or to build, what is the process from inspiration to final product?
So a lot of the inspiration comes from the customer saying, I want this.
Okay.
And going, okay, let's see if we can do it.
Okay.
From there, online resources, I get the pictures, I start looking at those, and then from the pictures, I can start kind of designing in my head how I want it to look, and then I start putting it together and see if it comes out the same way I envisioned it. Most of the times it does. Sometimes it takes a little more work. I've got to figure things out. Other times, what I had in my head, I'm halfway through and I've got to throw it all out the window and start from scratch with a whole different design.
Okay. Do you use do you use computers in the design process, or is this paper and pen or pencil?
Neither.
Oh.
So I'm working on the bench with the Legos themselves. I'm not building it in CAD. I'm not designing it down on paper. I'm looking at just pictures on a screen or in some of my books, and I'm working off of those. And then I'm putting it together, different angles for the pictures, make sure it matches up, and then just trying to get it right.
Mm-hmm. So that's got to be a time-consuming process, trying to match what Lego pieces you have.
It can be at times, definitely, matching up the pieces. Sometimes, the colors are the biggest problem. Like the VC-25, Lego does not make the engine pieces in the proper color, so I had to come up with a suitable workaround for the customer.
Okay. Oh, okay. Now, where do you? Obviously, since these are not custom made, you have to find the sources for the Legos to put them together. How do you acquire all these Legos?
Bricklink.
Bricklink?
Yeah, it's essentially a parts store for Legos. You've got various retailers who will put out a listing of everything they've got for sale, and you can go through and, hey, I need a dozen light bluish gray wedge plates right of this size. I can order them, get them sent to me, and then I can start building wings with those or whatever else I need.
Okay. I'm going to pull up the site so someone can, so everybody can see it. Hail the Comic Relief Crusader. Well, excuse me.
Ooh, we're getting nasty now. Yeah. The fight, is it Lego? Is it Legos? Yeah, that one can get pretty mean with people on
pretty
the
salty.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So there is the link to Bricklink. So anybody wanting to see, and then so once you get the parts, then you start working your magic to come up with the final product.
Correct. And even after I've built one aircraft, unless I'm building a number of the same type at the same time, they're going to come out differently.
Oh yeah.
I've recently have had commissions for a couple of RC-135s this year. None of them have been at the same time. So all of them, as I go back and look at the pictures, I'm like, oh, it's just a little different with how I did the wing setup here, or maybe I did a little different with the tail. So they don't all come out exactly the same over time. There are differences between them.
Okay. All right. And Carla Burton's here. Hello, Carla. She is shopping, so she can't chat, but is going to listen. Carla is really big into the toys, so I thought she'd be really into this. Comic Relief Crusader says Bricklink is awesome.
It is. Bricklink is one of my biggest sources for parts.
Okay. In fact, I'm going to go in quick and share the link. Just want to do one thing here. Okay. So okay, so you can there is where you can access Bricklink, and that's so it is really cool that you don't have to go to you don't have to get a pre-made Lego set. You could get the parts and start designing the work yourself.
It is nice to have that ability. Otherwise, I couldn't do what I do, and other companies that do similar stuff like me would be unable to do it.
Okay. All right. Carla Burton says, I have 6 boys, so own more Lego and trains than any toy store. Okay, so I think at this point we can open it up to the chat for questions. And in the meantime, if you want to bring some of your live stuff down so we can take a look at the real deal, and I will. And hail Fet for Hire, you devil, you. All right.
So we're going to start with the good old F-14 Tomcat, as seen in such wondrous movies as Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
So, as mentioned, first.
Wow.
The wings do swing together. So that's a nice option. We did the Jolly Roger style tail flash from the 80s and 90s, back when we could do that. Yeah. And this one even has an arresting hook that comes down.
Nice. Does the gear come down? Oh, this one does not have gear.
So the size of these aircraft prevent them from being gear on them.
Okay.
The Cessna and the DA-20 and a couple of the other smaller trainer aircraft do have it included because that is part of the build itself.
Okay.
I don't have any of those here because they're all customer models.
Okay.
Put
And
this
I've
up.
got the first question from
Okay.
as soon as you come back. Okay, Legatus Legionai asks, have you made larger versions to where the Lego minifigures would properly fit within the planes and fire trucks? Have you made them big enough for Lego minifigures?
So the fire trucks I have made big enough for Lego minifigures. The aircraft, really close. You could fit them in, but it wouldn't be totally to scale.
Okay.
So part of that is just the size. As you get bigger with Lego aircraft, it really starts to get expensive.
Okay.
So that's one of the things. But let me see what we got here. All right.
Okay, while you're looking for that.
Oh, I've got it up.
Okay.
So
Ooh, that's nice.
that is a Pierce pumper that I did for a volunteer firefighter. It is a 6 wide design, so you can fit Lego minifigure, one up in the driver's seat and one behind, as well as putting a minifigure working the pump panel.
Oh, nice. John, there you go. John Randall. There you go. A fire truck. Let's see. Oh, a Wednesday interview is not a Wednesday interview unless Pudgy Hedgehog asks the cookie question. What is your favorite cookie?
So for raw, I like chocolate chip.
Ooh.
Baked, I'll go oatmeal raisin.
Oh, nice. There you go, Pudgy. You can make both of them.
And then we have the SR-71.
Oh, that's nice. So what's the red trim on it? It's rare that I see the red trim.
So it's really sized up, but that's, I believe, the where to walk lines. Telling you
Gotcha.
can walk in one area and the rest of it, please don't step on this or you're going to punch through the skin.
Gotcha.
And then it's got the engines off to the side as part of the wings.
Uh-huh. Do the spikes move in and out like they do in the aircraft? No. Okay.
Again, too small for that level of complexity.
Okay. That is nice. Let's see. Carla Burton says it's crazy how many Lego sets I have pre-wrapped. And Comic Relief Crusader says I was the first kid in Canada to have Lego ages ago. All right.
Must be nice, but
Well, I like that
this
130.
C-130,
Mm-hmm.
pretty decent. And then
Yeah. Oh,
the tail ramp does come down.
nice.
On my C5 model, the nose also hinges upwards.
Okay.
So you can actually look all the way through even the Lego aircraft,
Nice.
like you would in the real one. But
be nice if you could put like a little Lego tank in there to show how.
that'd be pretty hard to do. It's only got 2 studs wide on the interior of these.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. All right, let's go to. Oh, that one I like. I'm not a big B2 fan, but that is nice.
The B2. As said, it's not easy to get the angles on this one,
Oh, yeah.
but once you get the angles, it actually looks pretty good as is.
Yeah, nice. John Rendell asks, are they all in the same scale, so to speak, or are they various scales?
So they're designed more to be the same physical size and not to a set scale. So let me grab, we'll go with the F4. So what we have here is a B2 and an F4. In reality, these things are not anywhere near the same size, but when you put these overlapping, they're fairly close in size and parts count, so it makes them fairly respectable to keep the price down to about the same for them and still have a decent level of detail. Yes. Pretty much, if I can see it, I've got the probable ability to make it. Now, if you're going to come out with something in some oddball colors, the parts get a little harder. Thankfully, most aircraft, the military, gray is a big one. On the civilian side, you've got white and then lines for striping, which makes it fairly easier to do. The Southwest one actually was a little harder because I had to match up the right pieces to get the look for the windows. So that gets a little tougher.
Okay. And it just so happens, Snort, you might have read my mind because Alex and I are in discussions for possibly putting together a devil ray. So we're discussing that. We'll see how that goes. John Reno asks, how much time on the actual builds?
So if I have to design something new, it can vary anywhere from a couple hours to, about 10 or so based on the complexity. The B2 was a righteous pain just trying to get those angles correct.
Okay.
Whereas with my F-22, when I built it, I had the original envisioned idea. I started putting it together, and it was, the entire prototype was built in an hour. It was just like magic happened. It all came together. Once I've got one built and can start referencing my own pictures, it gets a lot easier to start building more of them. And it can take anywhere from about an hour to 2 hours, depending on what parts I have to pull and how it goes for the assembly process.
Okay. All right. Okay. And Pat is saying, John, I'm betting you're digging that fire truck. And he loves the fire engine. And looky, you can have a fire truck. And he says, and a Pierce. One of my ancestors was related to the guy who started the Pierce Company. Wow.
So this is the Tipsy 75 radar, and it sits on the pedestal.
Oh,
It does
sweet.
rotate.
Oh, sweet. Is that with the Patriot or?
As said, I'm not sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was a customer request, and I just looked up what it looked like.
Nice.
Here's
Oh,
a CB.
ooh, I can see where that is very fragile.
Yeah, and the only way to do the arms is they're on a single stud that has the ability to rotate, so they are quite easy to knock off. And then the rest of it, the body's solid. That's the only good thing about it.
Nice. And hello, Wendy, our co-host. Wendy, the trauma warrior. How are you, ma'am? And Sandra's here, the producer and the wrench wench.
So I not only do your fire trucks, your aircraft, but I can do rail pieces as well. Obviously, this is a pretty small scale, everything considered. But as you were inquiring, there actually is a minifigure in there.
Nice.
No way to, scale for the minifig, but
yeah,
it's kind of a fun little.
There you go, John. There you go. There's train. He's got fire trucks and trains. Sean Carter says, Alex, when I was a kid, I built a really cool custom fighter. I wish I still had it. Do you remember anything you made as a young boy that you wish you still had or perhaps still do?
So I've built a lot of things in my youth. As much as, they were cool then, they were all sorts of rainbow colored bricks and everything. And I think as time with my techniques advancing, it's a different thing looking back at it going, that was cool then, but I know what I could do now. So it's mixed emotions on that.
Okay.
And then we're just going to go your big phallic symbol.
Yes,
but it is an LGM 30 Minuteman 2.
Nice.
So don't blame me. This is somebody else's design. I just built it.
In a moment, I'll show you. I'll show you my Saturn V Apollo rocket. I just got to go get it. I actually bought it. I was very disappointed it did not have the lunar module or the separatable command service modules. It's just the rocket on the pad. I'll show it to you in a moment.
All right.
Okay. Let's see. I'm looking for questions. Okay. Hello, my co-host, Wendy, the trauma warrior. Hope you had a pleasant day. Let's see. Comic Relief Crusader says some pretty mad skills.
Thank you.
Yeah. And John Rendell asks, do you keep notes for making duplicates?
I don't keep notes, but I do take photos. And while there are some that are out on Facebook for the photos, I also have other ones that help me a little better, especially on internals, like for the wing boxes on the swing wing aircraft, for building more of them.
Okay. And Fed for Hire says, I never say, oh my God, but oh my God, I want a devil ray. See? We'll see how it comes out. We'll see how the prototype comes out. And Sean Carter says, I totally identify with you, sir. I built a 4-foot scale model of the U.S. Oriskany out of two Star Destroyer kits from my dad. He served aboard her. She was a carrier. I wish I had pictures. Nice.
Yeah, I haven't built anything that big. I mean, the biggest thing I've ever built may be the same Saturn V that King Dolphin has.
Yeah. In fact, give me a moment and I will get that.
All right, so let's just twiddle the thumbs while we wait here. Yeah, I know I'm not a great comedian. Sorry. If you want that, go watch The Late Show.
Well, someone's asking for some time time occupying.
No,
Okay. Yeah.
I just figured I'd have a little fun.
Question from Pudgy. Question: is the life person in room with no Legos, or are there Legos there too?
So this is our library, so I can kind of get away with having Legos in here. Most of the Legos are in the basement, and I get a couple of sets I can put out on the main floor.
Okay. All right. And you must be talking about the Tipsy. I wonder if that could be hooked up to a can motor to rotate.
That one would be a lot harder than other stuff at that scale because it is small. Mm-hmm. Also, Lego motors, you'd have to gear it down a lot.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's just regretfully the nature of the size of it.
Okay. Let's see. And bet I could catch a devil ray and send it to you. Oh, wait, you mean the Starfighter? Yeah, Snort. Okay. Snort. I'll take both. And yes, hello, Sandra. And Pudgy hugs both Wendy and Sandra.
All right. So
Wendy.
in reference to that question about doing stuff and having it rotate, let me share a video really quick.
Okay.
Ooh, hey, that sounds like somebody's having a fun time right outside my house. U2s and all that.
Ooh, I hear them.
So, all right. This is a larger AWACS model I built. It is a 6 wide, but it does have a spinning rotodome.
Ooh, nice. So where's the motor?
So the motor is actually housed inside the fuselage.
Nice.
With quite a bit of gearing down, and even then, it's still pretty fast.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, because that's way too fast for an AWACS. Yeah. Carla Burton asks, can you use a 3D printer for anything, or is that cheating?
I would kind of consider it cheating. I use only Lego parts for my creations, but cheating is a definition to each person that works with Lego. So if they had a 3D printer and they needed something and wanted to build it, I'm not going to stop them. That is their creation. Mm-hmm. They can build it how they want.
Yeah. And this is not, I don't think this was a Korean company, but it still was Lego type parts.
Yeah. It looks fairly similar to the one that Lego recently released, although the Lego one's a lot larger.
Oh, okay. Did it have the lunar module and separatable?
Yes.
Okay.
Give me a minute.
Okay.
Entertain them.
Oh, I certainly do. Let's see. So, guys, please go to Brick Plania's Facebook page and check out all the neat stuff. Carla Burton says, "Hello, sweet Sandra. I'm driving now, but Anais caught up on stream." Okay, let's see. And we'll ask him when Snort will ask him this one when he comes back. John says it looks like a GP7. Okay. Hello, Deef, and hello, Maddie's daddy, and hello, Anti-Derivative Jill. Hope you are enjoying all these cool Lego products. Lego things he's done. Anti-Derivative Jill. We've got the wonderful Deef. So John Rendell says,
I'm back.
All right. Sirens. Whoa. Okay. This has got to go on.
This is the official Lego Saturn V set.
Nice.
It's fairly sizable, as one can see.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually is designed so that it separates into the various stages.
Okay.
So
nice.
That is a design feature of it.
Me want.
Not only does it do that, but I know somewhere in here it has the ability to come apart with the actual booster stage there.
Okay.
So they designed it very well. It's got all the stages. It has a separate little module that technically lands, or the water
module.
The actual command module part. Okay. So it comes with a water base, so it looks like it just landed back in the ocean on Earth.
Okay. That's the one I wanted.
Yeah.
That's the one I wanted. The one with the lunar module. Does it have a lunar module?
No.
Oh,
but Lego also has built a lunar module that comes with a little moonscape to go with it.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. All right. Snorter Poopus says, are there any science fiction spaceship designs available?
If you look online, there are tons from other people. I haven't built any because nobody's requested one of me.
Okay.
So most of what I do is on request from a customer. I don't carry a stock on hand or anything.
Okay. This is a good question from Legatus. As your skill improves, have you gone back and remade or improved on older builds? That's a good question.
Yes, I have. And also, as the catalog of Lego parts increases, because the original SR-71, those chimes were actually studded plates. But they've since then come out with a new type of plate that allows the chimes to not have studs on them, so it looks a lot sleeker, a lot smoother. So when you're looking at the chimes here, you've got a little bit of studs on this section, just because those are parts of the wedges that it has to be. But after that, it's all smooth from back. But there are studs internally that allow those plates to be a part of the fuselage and stay in there. So that's
Okay.
an advantage that has come with new parts, new techniques altogether, allowing for an improvement in the product.
Okay. All right. Pudgy. He says, okay, Mr. Raymond is gone. Time for the Pudgy show. Pudgy. All
Yeah,
right.
that doesn't work so well when he's controlling what gets shown on screen.
Mhm. I control the audio. I control the video. I control the horizontal. Yeah. Okay. So.
So here is an E3, and of course, yes, the rotodome spins.
Oh, that is so cool. That's got to be interesting getting the gearing.
So that one's not gearing; it's just a turntable
Oh,
up
okay.
on top of the supports
Okay.
because it's not motorized to that scale.
Okay. Snort says someone needs to design a plane for Pudgy Hedgehog 1. I'm sure if it's there, it can be done. The diesel locomotive looks a lot like a Delaware and Hudson GP7, shorter but cool.
That one was actually modeled after a GP9,
Ooh.
which pretty similar from what I understand. And again, colors are easy to replace and a little bit of striping here and there, and it can probably be a D&H GP7.
Now, you said you had an F-16. Do you have that? Is that one of your?
You want to see the Viper.
I want to see the Viper. I love the F4, but I want to see the Viper too.
All right. Here is
Ooh,
the Viper.
nice.
So this one actually was kind of done up as a demo model because when I was stationed in Europe, we had Dutch fighters flying F-16s close by, so I did the Dutch flag on the tail for this one. But otherwise, no different than would be on an American one.
Very cool. Very cool. And again, hello to Anti-Derivative Jill. I know she's lurking, but here. And Deef. Hello, Deef. Hope you're enjoying. He says, nice aircraft collection on your shelf. Yes, all made by Legos. All Lego, not Legos, Lego.
Say what you're comfortable with. If your audience wants to give you beep for it, well, that's on them.
Yeah. Let's see. But the advantage is Alex have booby traps all over the place to stop burglars in their tracks. Yeah.
No, I actually tend to clean them up off the floor.
Let's see. Sirens. Yeah, we heard the sirens too. Okay.
Yeah, actually, it turned out it wasn't anything bad. It was the fire department doing Santa.
Oh, okay.
Santa was riding around on the engine, checking out all the boys and girls, making sure they've been good and nice.
Carla Burton likes the AWACS. Have you done an F-111? Or is that?
I have not done an Earth Pig.
Okay. No one's asked, or just
no one's asked,
and chosen not to. Okay.
I mean, that's what a lot of it is if somebody requests a specific aircraft, I'm gonna work it. Occasionally, I'll do some just for fun for me. I mean, I did the X-15 because I think it was just a hoot.
Mm-hmm.
And, what a ride. Hey, we're going Mach 6 into space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But otherwise, a lot of them have been customer requests. That's how the SR-71 got started,
Mm-hmm.
the B-2. All right, I did the Minuteman also because it's just funny to have one.
Yeah. I noticed that there's missiles on the F4, or at least
Yes.
white ones. Okay.
So that just harkens back to, I had an old little cheap toy one as a kid, and I remember having the little missiles on it and pretending to fire them at MiGs or whatever.
Mm.
And it just came along. It also, I think, gives it a little more character, not just having a flat underside, but having a little bit of armament there to get a better feel for it.
Yeah. Okay. Wendy, Trauma Warrior, says, I've always loved playing with Lego, but it hurts like hell when I step on one barefoot. Ow.
So this goes back to that thing where I said I clean the floors up of Lego. Yeah.
You've done your share of stepping on them, I take it.
Yes, I have.
Both Comic Relief Crusader and John Rendo are having rocket envy. So am I.
Hey, that one is an official Lego set.
Yeah.
My mom actually got it for me for Christmas, so don't blame me. I just like it.
Yeah. I could use that one to launch Pudgy to the moon.
Saturn V, maybe. If he's as big as his name says, you might want to get the Artemis because it can carry a bigger payload.
Okay. Let's see. Carla Burton's got that one too. And Adam Savage's Tested did a build video on that Lego rocket. It's pretty impressive. Let's see. Carla says it sells out quickly. And we have the lunar module too.
So do I.
I got to get the lunar module. John Rendo asks, do the planes attach to the bases with magnets or is it stud and hole? Yeah, if you could show us one of the stands.
All right. So the stand on this Super Hornet is all Lego. What we have here are click hinges.
Oh, okay. So you could.
They just go on the back of the base, which is designed with an angled back piece. So it gives it that nice takeoff attitude, gives it the proper look, and still holds it upright where you want it.
Wow.
So it is all Lego.
Nice. And hello, SP4H. Welcome. We are talking Lego here. Military Lego. Okay. And Fed for Hire asks, I'm a big space shuttle nerd, so I have to ask, have you ever done a space shuttle version?
So Lego actually has a couple of space shuttle sets, including one right now of the Discovery, which is big. I have not done it.
Okay.
So for those ones, I really, for the size and the cost, would recommend just getting the set and building it yourself.
Okay. Legatus Legionai says, I have the set 565 Lego Moonlander. Boy, has Legos changed since then.
You still have it. That set's probably worth a pretty penny. But yes, the parts, the options you can do with them have advanced so much. I mean, just all the new variations and colors, how they can connect. It's enabled us to do so much more as creators with Lego over the past 20 years, really. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. John Rendell sends Santa Simons, candy and toys and candy. We're all about food here at King Dolphin TV. Let's see. Hello, Gary Ambrosia, saying, "Hail, King Dolphin TV." Snort says, "Yeah, aardvark. I guess it's not one of our Alex's favorite planes."
It's a nice aircraft, but again, it's not something that anybody has come to me asking for.
Okay.
And given how many people probably flew or maintained it, it's not going to be one many people are looking to get.
Okay.
You know, a lot of people have flown Vipers, Tomcats, or really like seeing them. So that's part of where the fighter customers come from. For the heavies, it's a lot of people who have flown on them or maintained them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where, you know, the E3s, the cargo aircraft, the C-17s, the 130s, I sell those too. But yeah, the F-117 is kind of older. Not as many people really are looking for it. I mean, it'd almost be like somebody asking me to build like an F-94 Shooting Star. You know, very niche market. But if you ask for one, I mean, hey, I'm not going to turn down a customer.
Yeah. Do you have? I notice you don't have the buff there. I take it that is gone.
So I've built a couple of buffs. The one I have is not up on the shelves in our library.
Okay. Probably in a private location.
Yeah, it's down in the garage basement area. It's in a tub, so if I go to shows or whatever to show off my models, it's already ready. Whereas everything up there, I have to take down, package up.
Okay. Now, how many shows have you done, and how difficult is it to set up for a show?
Depends on how much room I've got. I haven't done any shows since the pandemic kicked off, but I did probably 2 a year prior to that, where one was a gaming convention on base in Germany, and then the other one was more a local Lego club show.
Okay. You should check out maybe trying to do the local Comic-Con next year, if that's something you'd be interested in. Snorna Poopa says, "You hear that, Pudgy? Get the Artemis." And of course, Pudgy ponders. Let's see. Dalek451 says, "Hello all. What are we looking at? Legos. Yes, planes made out of Legos. Military planes made out of Legos." Yeah. Ooh, yes, we need to see more. We must see more. Oh,
so
whoa, that's nice.
This is the F-35 Lightning II. Even has the side-canted intakes, and it's on a base plate that looks more like a runway, so you can get kind of that feel for it. And then back in this big red light.
Is that an A, or is that your basic A?
No, the basic base that I do is it has the designation on it, like F-18 when I showed that one. So this is actually the runway base is kind of an upgrade.
Okay. No, I mean the model of the F-35. Is that the A, or that's not the VTOL one, is it?
I'd have to look at pictures to see what the real differences are. Okay. I'm not going to be able to put a lift on it. It's not going to be easy period of the size and scale.
Okay.
But it probably wouldn't be hard to modify it to be a B or a C model,
Okay.
depending on customer request.
Okay. Gary Ambrosius says, half my office downtown is dedicated to Lego. Cool.
What do? Work for Lego company itself? And if so, are you hiring?
And John Rendell said, Comic Relief Crusader says, I still love my classic space set. And Gary Ambrosius, and the other side is Lincoln Logs, LOL. Oh, the F4.
So the F4 Phantom. This one
I
I built because I just have always liked the Phantom. And I remember playing with that little model as a kid. So that's why I recreated this one.
I love the colors. I love how you were able to get the color scheme correct.
Yeah, that took a little bit of work to do the camouflage pattern on it.
Mm-hmm.
That and getting the wingtips to be angled upwards, which they actually do.
Yeah.
But once I did, it looks good. I enjoy it. It's a fun little piece to have for me because it reminds me of those, carefree days before I had to get saddled with things like a job and work and,
yeah,
paying a mortgage and all that stuff.
Yeah. Too bad you couldn't. Well, I wonder if you could modify it into the Wild Weasel. Shouldn't be that difficult to modify it into a Wild Weasel.
So, modifying it to a Wild Weasel, there's very little external difference, especially at this scale, that would delineate this from a Wild Weasel variant.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah, it would be just the antenna up on the. It'd be the antenna on the stabilizer and the little bulb where the gun used to be.
So, I mean, this right now is an E model just because I do have the gun there. But if I take off two pieces, it's suddenly
a C.
Yeah.
A C or a D.
That's just how fast I can change it out. And then depending on the size of the antenna, that may not even be a real factor on it. And are those Sparrow missiles or those Shrikes? You don't know. Size, your imagination is what it wants to be.
Yep. Let's see. Okay. I made a full-size guillotine once, working card foil and tinfoil blade too. Oy vey.
Yeah, I'm not coming to any parties, especially if they have cake at your house.
And hail to you, Jill. And Pudgy says, sounds like Mopar versus Ford crazy people. Okay. Snorter Pooper says the buff was probably too big for the shell.
Actually, it's not. It utilizes the same wingspan as the E3 that I've got, which...
Oh, so it's the same size.
Yeah. So as said, pretty much everything is the same size. So here we have an F4 Phantom. Here we have an E3. In real life, these aircraft, again, are nowhere near the same size. But when I put them together, they've got about the same wingspan, and they're about the same length of the fuselage.
Okay.
So what I build is designed to have a more standardized, about 1 foot by 1 foot area that it uses on your shelf. Yes, it's the big, ugly, fat fellow.
Yeah, big, ugly, fat fella.
But again, I mean, they are designed for that 1 foot by 1 foot size in most cases. So they are not to any scale for all of them. So the B-52, I said, is about the size of the E3 or the F4 when I build them.
All right. Yes, Dalek, and he makes them. He doesn't make them with kits. He makes them strictly with parts. Dalek says, "Planes made of Lego, huh? Cool. Yep, and all made by Lego parts from Bricklink." Legatus Legion I asked, "Are you part of a Lego club?"
When I was in Germany and at previous bases, yes. Where I live right now, the nearest club is about 90 minutes away, so I'm not active with them.
Yeah, that would be a schlep. Gary Ambrosia says, "I just did a Top Gun Maverick Dark Star jet in Lego."
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, that would be nice. Let's see. Half of my lounge is devoted to Lego drawers. See, we've got a lot of Lego enthusiasts here. Well, of course, Carolyn Burton is a parent, so yeah, there's going to have lots of Legos. But it's just so amazing. You see, in the age of 3D printers, someone who could just look at a pile of Legos and make those things of beauty up there is just absolutely amazing. And it is very impressive. Let's see. My Lego is sorted by type, not color. Please ask questions.
So it depends on what I've got that I'm sorting. For certain pieces, they are sorted by type, other ones by color. And then I also at times have to go by type and color, especially when you get into the plates and smaller bricks and smaller items that I use a lot.
Okay.
So a lot of my bases, it's a black bottom, then a white overlay, and then on the white is where I write in red. So I use a lot of plates and tiles for the base writing to get that done. So I have to keep all of those very separate. Otherwise, when they get mixed together, I will never find what I need. As you can see there, so that's all written out with little plates and tiles.
Okay. And Snorter Pooper says, Dalek 451, imagine how many feet you could exterminate with a Lego Dalek. That would be interesting, a Lego Dalek. And Pudgy says, hi, Snoopy. Yes, Snoopy's walking around. Let's see. Gary Ambrosia says, mine are sorted by type. This was a huge mistake that I'm just too lazy to correct.
So most people, myself included, their collection starts out, it's just all jumbled into a box. You haven't got that many. Yeah, you can find whatever you need. But then as time goes on, you're like, all right, I've got enough. I need to actually sort them. So you either do by color, by type, whatever. I did color when I started sorting them. And then as my collection grew and then I started building the aircraft, it became time to knuckle down and I had to do by type and by color so I could make stuff for the customers.
Okay.
So at this point, I've got, I think it's 2 6-foot-long benches and then a bunch of stairlight containers and shelving, storing stuff on them in the basement that I use on my workbench for building.
Okay. Let's see. John Randall says, I sort my Lego by potential for foot damage.
So you keep them all in just one big box together and say they all can do a lot of foot damage.
Let's see. I used to play with Lego a lot as a kid. I had a big box full of it, and I used to collect and build the Bionicle sets.
So a number of people do go through what's known as the Dark Ages, where they get away from Lego.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody comes back. I kind of went through some gray years when I was a teen, but I still was getting Lego and still building. And then once I joined the military and actually had money, I got back into Lego.
Okay. I would love to see a AC-130 gunship. I wonder how that would work.
So I've done an AC-130 and this one actually went kind of big.
Ooh.
So let's share some pictures again.
All right. Holy. Whoa. Whoa.
On the left, you have my normal 4-wide sized aircraft. On the right,
Yeah.
I did a 6-wide for one customer.
Wow.
So there you have a minifig near it, so you can kind of get an idea of the scale.
Wow. And there's the gun. There's the gun. Oh.
Well, that one's actually just the Gatling cannon.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can see further in the back, you've got the 105 howitzer.
Wow.
And then it does have kind of hiding behind the fuel tankers, 40 millimeter befores. The tail does open. So when you look at this one, this was actually built quite a time ago, really before a lot of the rounded bricks started coming out and were readily available. So nowadays, the top of this fuselage would be more rounded than it is now. And then I also did a 4-wide one for an AC-130.
Wow. Impressive. That is very impressive.
So let me show you what I mean by the more rounded top now. All right. So this was one I did that a couple of people got as a gift for a school they went to. And this is a 6-wide RC-135. And as you can see on the top of the fuselage, it uses a lot more rounded pieces to give it a better look, I would say. It doesn't have all the studs on top. It's not flat. It really presents a better image, I think.
Yeah.
But that's a difference that comes with time as new parts have been made available for building with.
Okay. John Rendell says Slapshot got loose. No. Now, Legatus asks, Lego has these contests for new Lego designs. Have you ever entered or won one or more of your creations?
So I've never even entered any of my creations because Lego has this strict prohibition against military stuff.
Ooh.
And pretty much everything I've got, short of like the Cessnas and the Diamonds, are military.
Why did they do that?
Because it's a kid's toy and they don't want to be associated with any more death and violence than their Star Wars franchise brings.
I see. Yeah, I've been to the Lego store in Disney World. That's impressive. So it's strictly their philosophical.
Belief, yes.
Yeah.
That's why my stuff just doesn't work well. I mean, who really wants a multi-megaton Minuteman missile? You know, okay, yes, I'm sure you'd like to have one in your backyard. It'd be really cool.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
for Lego, there's not the market, and they don't want to be associated with that.
Yeah.
I mean, the closest they've come is like a Sopwith Camel and a Fokker DR1. So
There's a question on that. So Dalek 451 says any me AC 130 above. And of course I hail Snoopy, but I think he's in trouble. Snorter Poopa says, get ready. I know what the dolphin wants for a Prezi. Legatus asks, any historical aircraft like the Red Baron's triplane or Snoopy's dog shed?
So Lego a long time ago actually did build a Wright Flyer. The catch with that is it was a lot larger, it was more expensive, and nowadays finding it without paying an arm and a leg is nigh impossible.
Yeah.
So as we can see here,
you'd made one.
I built a Wright Flyer for a customer.
It's a pretty good rendition.
Yeah. And then, I mean, for historical aircraft, obviously, I would think the X-15 would count. I mean,
yeah,
they haven't flown that in over 50 years. And, that was how you got your astronaut wings pretty much back when your only other option was to ride up a Mercury or Gemini.
Yeah. John says, yeah, I do too. And Snorter Poopa says, no military stuff, boo Lego. Yeah, boo Lego.
I don't boo them because they provide all the parts I need. I will say Star Wars does a heck of a lot of good stuff for me being able to get parts from.
Oh, okay. You take it easy, Gary. And thank you for telling everybody to hit the like button. You have a great evening. All my toys when I was a cub were military related, and I hardly ever killed anybody.
So you were about as accurate as G.I. Joe.
Okay. Legatus asks, any planes like those from Baba Black Sheep TV show, the Corsair?
Nobody's asked me to build a F4U Corsair. Nobody's asked for a P-51 Mustang.
Oh, wow.
So, again, it all comes down to a lot of what the customers are asking me to build. And as most of the people I knew were active military, they wanted the stuff they were flying on or working.
Right. Yeah, right. Okay. G.I. Joe, lots of fun in the young days there, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back when they could fire millions of rounds and never hit their target.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, anybody else have any questions for Alex? Oh, I've got one. You've done the swing wings for the B1, and I see you don't have a bone up there, but for the swing wing fighters, how difficult is it to put the together the wing box?
So once I figured out the wing box design, it's actually pretty easy to replicate.
Oh, okay.
But it was that initial how do you do it that probably took 5 or 6 hours of experimentation to get it fairly accurate, and then the initial B1, if I could, do a customer upgrade, it'd probably, work a lot better, but I can't. But after that, I've refined it a little more, better technique, and it's a lot smoother.
Okay. Hello, Mabel Escudero Vlogs. I hope I said that right. Okay. Um, and you can replicate. Okay, you've built one, and you're still able to replicate for another person that same design. That is very impressive.
As I mentioned earlier, once I design something and it's something complicated like that, I take pictures so I can
Okay.
refer back to them.
Okay, so you don't draw line drawings or anything.
No.
You just you will go back and you'll go back and just take a picture and then work off that picture.
Right. Or in the case of the wing box, it's really the same wing box between the Tornado, the Bone, and the Tomcat. So by having a Tomcat model up on the shelf, I still have a live example that I can pop a couple pieces off of and go, yep, looks like that, and go to town making it work.
Okay. Let's see. Legatus asks, what's the cost of a PDF for any of the planes that you created? Or a picture of them?
So regretfully, I've got too many friends that have put instructions out and they've been stolen. So I don't offer that up.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. Snorter Pooper said, I never had Joe, but I had a plastic M14. I remember those. My parents did not allow me to have one. I had a plastic M14 that was full-sized, a small Civil War cannon that shot spring-loaded plastic cannonballs, and a machine gun that shot plastic bullets. Oh, yeah, Snort, those were the days, but unfortunately, my parents did not allow me to do it. They never allowed me to have a G.I. Joe. I had it.
I've got a spring-loaded Lego pirate cannon or two.
Nice. Have you done helicopters?
Nobody's asked for one. You need a Huey? You want a Black Hawk? I mean, are you looking to recreate MASH here? That's what it comes down to
is the demand. Because if you're gonna do all that work, you want it better be for somebody.
Yeah. And I mean, the first time I make anything, I'm absolutely losing money on the time involved. It's only when I can build like 5, 10 of them that I'm probably getting it back. But I do this as a hobby. I like to build, and sometimes it's nice to have a challenge for something new. But at the same time, if it's not totally something that I really want to build, it doesn't hurt to have a little something on the back end going, yeah, this is what I'm building it for.
Mm-hmm. And Legatus asks, so all custom orders are pre-made and sent in lots of protection?
Well, yes, they're all custom made. They are shipped out, mostly assembled. I don't fully protect them up. They're not going to be on the stand. So that's going to be one piece of the flat base. Then the vertical part of the stand is going to be another. So there's a little bit of assembly required, and maybe like the vertical stabilizer too, depending on how big that is. But otherwise, yeah, they're pre-built and bubble wrapped.
Okay. There you go. All right. Snort. I'm sure I would have played MASH if the series had been out when I was a cub. I loved playing Doctor. Cough. Snort.
Yeah.
John says Alco C628 would be awesome.
I would have to look at how that one looks. At least it's a diesel. For Steam, I can tell you other people to go to potentially, but that gets real hard to make look right. What's this about a kiddie table? Is that what you're still eating at for Thanksgiving dinner?
No, it is it's the penalty box for bad jokes and other mischief. Here, I'll show you. Let's see. Takes me a few minutes. Yeah, we have a penalty box for when people tell horrific jokes.
Or bad puns.
Or bad puns. Let's see. Okay, here is... Here is the infamous kiddie table. It got so big we had to put an extension out there.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. And then here are some of the denizens of said kiddie table. Let's see here. I'm going to do a couple. Let's see. Fit for Hire, the mastermind behind all the graphic designs. And let's see, where is he? And the one who just got relegated to said kiddie table. The one who just got relegated to the kiddie table, Snortopupus Cuber. So yes, it's a place where it's the penalty box for all the bad jokes, bad puns, and shenanigans.
Well, sometimes you just have to go big or go home.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
And sometimes, it just takes wielding an infinity gauntlet.
I love it. Nice.
So that one was actually a customer commission. They wanted a full-size, wearable infinity gauntlet.
Oh, wow. That is so cool. That is so cool. Wow.
That was definitely a one-off piece.
Yeah, I could see. Hello, Phantom Outsider. How you doing, sir? Okay. Yeah, we got goodies in the kiddie table. Cookies, eclairs, donuts, bacon, margaritas, soft tacos. See?
Wow, it's not even Tuesday.
Yeah. Legatus Legion Eye says the Lego movie is a real blockbuster. Oh,
Ba-ding.
yeah. See, stuff like that gets him put to the kiddie table. Carla Burton says, my son is one of those master Lego kids. He knows every part, what set it belongs to. And Fed for Hire says, I'm still waiting to get some M&Ms.
What do I look like? A delivery service here?
Anti-Derivative Jill says, Lego is fantastic. Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
And because Anti-Derivative Jill does like Star Trek, have you ever made an Enterprise?
Long time ago when I was a kid, yes. It had a green floor and it didn't have a top, and it was more square than circular in almost every dimension, but yes.
Oh, okay. Cool. There's a new Lego store. Now we've just gone off the rails. There's a new Lego store in town. I'm avoiding it for a while because people are lined up for blocks. Yeah. See?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Wrong time of year to buy Lego Legatus. I look out for Duplo trains, old style, and people are buying them way more this time of year. Duplo?
It's time to get presents for the kids.
Yeah, that's true.
And you know, just some of them you can't trust not to try and put them in their mouth.
That's true. Soft Taco Day is every day for Snort. Okay, we've gone off the rail here. See what happens. Let's see. Ooh, sorry about that, Phantom. Recovering well, took a fall off my front porch thanks to icy stairs. So embarrassed. Hit my back square on the shoulder blades. Ow. That hurts just listening to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. All right.
Porch okay?
Porch okay. Let's see. So we have senior wares. Let me make sure I put the Facebook link out there for you to access them. Please reach out to him on Facebook. And excuse me. Okay. Duplos are mega size Legos for toddlers. Okay.
They're not just for toddlers.
Uh-huh.
They work well as inside pieces for large building construction where the inside doesn't matter. They're great at support and fill.
Okay. Please put a PO for Phantom Outsider out there. Hey, you're still hurting. Snorter Poopus, and I think this will be the last question here before we get too off the rails. We'll save this for Saturday. Snorter Poopus asks, what is the hardest model you've ever done?
So the B2 definitely takes the cake for aircraft and just trying to get all the angles for that wing shape together because it's not at a 45. If it was at a 45, that would have been easy. I'd have been done like 15 minutes and called it the easiest one I've ever built. But it's more like a 33-degree angle-ish. So it takes a lot of finessing to try and get it all to work out.
Okay.
And then probably the worst one to actually ship is a CB because those arms are coming off whether I like it or not. There's nothing I can do about that.
Somebody I know at work is a CB, and I thought, but that's probably, I don't know. I don't know how that would get there if it's that fragile. Legata says, my doctor asked me on a scale of 1 to stepping on a Lego, how much pain are you in?
Hey, I'm at a 0 right now. But I mean, if you got constant pain, you might want to try the Lego Firewalk, because I'll tell you, after you're doing that, your feet are going to hurt so much, everything else is going to seem like nothing.
And you're joining in on this, Sean. Oh no, we've seen your wares, but do you have senior wares? Looking for a Christmas present for my mom. Oy vey.
I mean, what is your mom interested in? Does she remember meeting the Wright brothers and she's looking for the right flyer? Is she more, maybe a Vietnam era and she wants an F4, maybe an A4, or is she a little more hip with it and wants like a Tomcat, remember the good old days of Tom Cruise playing volleyball with his shirt off,
Yeah. Got to remember the infamous volleyball game. Take care, Maddie's daddy. All right. And I think that's going on that note. Thank you very much, Alex, for coming.
Thank you for your time and inviting me.
Yes. You're also an author, and we'll have to talk about that at another time. Could you tell us your book?
All right. My book is The Black Widows. You can find it on Amazon and Mentor Military. Okay. It is a what-if story if the Air Force had built a production run of the F-23 Black Widow 2 and then hid it away off in a old base in the middle of nowhere and ran clandestine ops around the world.
Okay, cool. We'll have to have you on to discuss more about it, because we do talk about books here.
Look forward to it.
Yeah. Legata says, awesome Lego creations, and thanks for sharing. And
thanks for watching.
Yes. Jill says, great guest. And I guess Carla is asking if you've ever done a DC-3.
I have not done a DC-3.
Okay. All right. So let us start wrapping up. And I know it is time. Yes, Sandra, it's time for show notes. But we're going to debut the other one on Saturday. So this is the normal one you're getting. I think the other one is meant for just cuz, so we're just gonna have the normal one.
It's time for show notes. It's time for show notes. It's time for show notes with Mr. Raymond and Sandra too. It's time for show notes.
Dun. Show notes. We got a lot of show notes coming up. I am going to be a guest this Saturday with Brandon, the anime guy, and then we will do the, okay. The new one is the fancy one for Wednesdays. Okay, let's do it. This is the debut of the Wednesday show notes, fancy show notes, made by our very own Vet for Hire. I'm probably going to regret this.
This segment is brought to you by thedolphinboys.com. It's time for show notes. It's time for show notes. It's time for show notes with Mr. Raymond and Sandra too. It's time for show notes.
we got the crowd goes wild, I guess. All right. Yes, all hail Fett for hire, our amazing graphic designer. All right, let's start. So this Sunday or this Saturday, I will be the guest on Brandon the Anime Gay. We'll be talking about Gundam, and then later on that day, we're going to do Just Cause, the show where anything happens and usually does. On the 21st, we're going to have our very own Grace Saley K is releasing her new book, and we'll be talking about it a week from today. On the 24th, we will do the Christmas Eve Just Cuz, and we will have segments of NORAD Track Santa. So we'll be checking out where Santa is. On the 28th, 2 weeks from today, we're going to have Kamiron Miller. He is a musician. On New Year's Eve, we'll have a Just Cuz. We'll count in the new year with the usual gang and have the usual shenanigans. And on January 4th, we're going to have an update with Deef, because his book is coming out as well. And so that is the show notes for the rest of December and beginning of January. And don't forget that we will have Just Cuz every Saturday. So every Saturday, lots of fun, lots of mayhem, and lots of hedgehog. So and polar bear, lots of hedgehog and polar bear. Yes, Sandra says go over to Pop Culture Breakdown with Doomcock and tell him it's a King Dolphin raid. Yes, King Dolphin raid. So let us say goodnight to the wonderful chat. I am so glad so many people came on and had so much fun. We had, as the chatters, we had Sean Carter. We had the Comic Relief Crusader. We had Dalek 451. We had Deef. We had the Phantom Outsider. I hope you feel better. Soak in a hot tub. We had Gary Ambrosia visit us. He also has a lot of Lego. We have SP4H who came. We got Maddie's daddy who was here. And we have, welcome, she has just joined us here, Mabel Escudero 04 Vlogs. Please, Mabel, like and subscribe. I'm glad to have you. And of course, the amazing team that makes things happen here, that keeps the shenanigans down, well, as much as could be on a Wednesday night. We have Legatus Legionii, Anti-Derivative Joe came by, and John Rendell, our train master. We had the Comic Relief Crusader. We had Pudgy Hedgehog, and you know it's not a Wednesday interview without a cookie question. We had Carla Burton. We had our co-host doing duty as a wrench, Wendy Trauma Warrior. We had the evil genius, Fet for Hire, the mastermind behind that show notes and everything, all the other visual effects here on King Dolphin TV. Love you, brother. You are amazing, you devil, you. We've got we have our wrench wench and producer, Sandra, who came better late than never. And of course, you know him, you love him, you don't want him to squish him. Florida Poopas! Go bar. .com. Dalek 451 says, great show as always, Raymond. Good night. Yes, good night. Comic Relief Crusaders saying, remember the plural of Lego is Lego. It's official. Lego says so. Okay, fine. Take care of every human, dolphin, hedgehog, doggo, ferret, and aardvark. Yes. All right. Legatus, I've been working on Lego jokes. They've taken me a long time to put together. You're already at the kitty table. You don't have to. Try and get it over there anymore.
There's always the doghouse.
There's always the
You can be
doghouse.
sent outside, sleep in the cold because it's supposed to be below freezing.
Yes, I'm not looking forward to tonight or tomorrow morning. All right, everybody, stay safe, stay well, and watch out for the whatever bad weather you may have to endure. I already know that we're going to have some nasty weather starting this evening, and probably going to be working from home. And yes, good night, Jill. Everybody have a good night, and we will see you on Saturday for Just Cuz. Legata says, yes, I'm from the Great White North. Yeah. All right. So good night, everybody. Take care. And, yes, I can't be remiss. Thank you very much, Alex, for coming and having a good time with us.
Anytime.
Jill, stop it. It's still in the 70s here, 80s yesterday. Hey. Nah, on that note, those of us who are freezing are sticking our collective tongues out at you. All right. Good night, everybody.
This segment is brought to you by the